Good morning, and welcome to another Writer's Morning Commute. So this week, I've been, well, for a while now, I've been working on my editing. I've got these 4 novellas all written. I finished the second/third, depending on how you want to define a draft, second or third draft of the 3rd novella last week, and then I moved on to my checklist. So what I've been doing as I look at feedback from people reading novella number 1, as I read through the various stories, whenever I come to something that is a larger picture edit, I make a note of it in a separate document. So stuff that takes place in that scene, change the weather earlier so that this part makes sense, or this dialogue doesn't flow right, that kind of thing, where it's just relatively a local problem, I'll change right away. But if it's something like, foreshadow this way back in the beginning of the book, those I just push to the side so that I can go through and kind of try to do it all at once. So I've been tackling this checklist. The first thing at the top of this list was to give my characters voices. Most of the feedback I've gotten from novella 1 has been very positive. As I'm reading it, I'm finding it to be a little amateurish, perhaps. So I'm hoping that I can, through editing and getting through this checklist, get it up to my current standards. Which I feel like novella 3 and 4 are really good. There are lots of parts of those that I was really invested in and felt excited for. Novella 1 is just a little bit, I was still kind of figuring it myself out. And that's another problem. Why I decided to do this method is because I wanted to get better. And I wanted to force myself to kind of go through the process of finishing a book repeatedly in a quick time. And in doing so, I've grown a lot, but the problem with growing a lot is that my earlier work now feels dated. So I'm trying to get it a little bit less out of line. Anyways, adding these character voices, though, is something that I struggle with. I'm a heavy outliner. I'm really good at coming up with, I feel at least, that I'm good at coming up with characters and character arcs and ideas and world building and all that stuff. But I'm an ISTP, Myers-Briggs personality, if you do that. I have an engineering degree. I like numbers. I'm very, concrete thinker. So talking about character voice and some of the artsier parts of writing is a challenge for me. So, of course, I decided to approach this by systematically creating a checklist of how to tackle character voice and making characters feel unique within a story. Not sure how it's going to work yet. I'm still working on it. But I've given most of the characters kind of a theme or a motif to try to bring about part of their personality. I actually took the Myers-Briggs test as if I was this first character whose voice I'm trying to bring out, and that kind of taught me a little bit about him. For those of you paying close attention, you may notice it is no longer my morning commute. My camera filled up and with the storage, so I am recording this later. It is the afternoon. It is super hot. I apologize if my AC is too loud. But I figured I would finish off this video for you. It might be a little bit longer than most of the other videos. And I'd let you know how things are going. Alright, so I took this quiz at 16 personalities to get my Myers-Briggs for this character. And what I found really interesting was that by getting into his mind and answering the questions while keeping in mind the choices he makes, am I outlining? And this story I'd already written, so it was even easier because I had, a pretty good understanding of him. I've written a whole series with him as one of the main characters in it. But at the end of the test, got back the results, and I was reading through them, and there were a lot of things that confirmed his thought processes and his choices. Things that he valued were valued by this Myers-Briggs type, that kind of thing. So it made me feel pretty good about his personality being unique and how he handled things, being accurate and hopefully resonant with people of that personality type. But it also gave me some new insights into other aspects of his personality that hopefully by layering in my edits, I'll be able to bring out his voice more and make him feel even more resonant for people of that personality type, or just to feel resonant for people who know people like that. Moving forward, what I think I'm going to do with the Myers-Briggs is to take my main characters, all my point of view characters, and any supporting character who has a major role throughout, all of a novella, or all of a series. So not just someone who'll appear, once or twice, but someone who's going to be a pretty recurring character. And outline my story like I normally do. But then once I have my outline, go through and take the test. At that point, I'll have a bit of an understanding of what kind of decisions I need them to make, what kind of personality I need them to have to make the plot work. And then I can go back through and double check all those. Like if there's a couple of choices that are really divergent personality-wise, I can go back and be like, okay, well, one of these two needs to change. Figure out which one I could change easier, or which one I could change that better fits. If there's one that stands out as different than, they're not just going to be making two choices. So they make one choice that's different compared to the other 5 choices, it'd be easy to pick. And try to find different motivations and thought processes to lead them towards where the plot needs to go. With that said, I hope you all have a great day. I'm sorry for the cut up video, but I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you got out as much from this process of learning about Myers-Briggs and writing characters as I am. So thank you, and have a great one.